What's up, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes? Welcome back to another episode of your potentially favorite Nigerian podcast. Bear with me, your host, General Prime. I hope everybody's chilling. Everybody is like getting ready for World War III. Because we all know that at this point now, it is inevitably imminent with the way things are just going, with the way things are changing so exponentially drastically. I don't know why I like speaking all this useless grammar, but anyway, yeah, I hope everybody, like, because this time around, like, for real, it's most likely going to happen with the way things are just going on right now. I saw that there was a kind of like level 5 earthquake that just happened in Iran today. Is it today or like yesterday? And to me personally, I don't think that's a natural earthquake. I feel like that's the work of science. I think that's DARPA. DARPA has a hand in that. I think there's something nefarious going on there. It's kind of crazy that Israel has been allowing Iran to just continuously nuke them. Like, I don't understand. Is it that the what they call it, the Iron Dome, is no longer working? Is it that the weapons that Iran is using against Israel is more advanced than the Iron Dome's defense mechanism? Or is it that is there an underlying ulterior motive behind it? Does Israel have a reason for allowing Iran to just continuously nuke them over and over and over again, to give them a justifiable excuse to go ham on Iran? And is that even actually smart? Like, remember Gorman in Star Wars in Andor season 2? Like, remember what happened in Gorman when the what they call them, the rebels were kind of like stealing from the empire, and the empire was allowing them just so that they will have reasons to attack them, just so that they will have reasons to like evaporate their entire existence. So to me, this is kind of the same thing that is happening. Like, it's like life is imitating arts, and the same thing that happened in Star Wars is, to me, this is what it looks like to me, is actually kind of happening right now. But Iran is not seeing it that way. Iran, like, to me personally, right, this war that has been going on, there are no good guys in this war. Iran is not a good guy. Israel is not a good guy. Gaza, the Palestinians are not good guys. There are no good guys. America is not a good guy. There are no good guys in this war. Just a bunch of crazy people that don't know how to come together and, form a coherent understanding of themselves and live together in peace. Like, they just want to destroy themselves. They just want to. That is the problem with human beings, right? We always think that the other is the enemy. That is what we always think. There is always a form of tribalism in every aspect of human life, in every aspect of the human society. We always want to like fight ourselves for some stupid, petty reasons. And then at the end of the day, when we are finally gotten the victory, or when we finally manage to get the victory, it doesn't even mean that the fighting is going to stop within our core selves, within the ones that finally get the victory. There's still going to be some uprising, there's still going to be some beef, there's still going to be some tribalism, there's still going to be some differences between them, and war just continues to go on and on and on. So I hope everybody is getting ready for World War III, because at this point in time, it looks like it's inevitable. It looks like it's not going to stop, because these crazy people, you know what I think? It does not make sense that all over the fucking world, right? All over the fucking world, even in Nigeria, like, it does not make sense that, I've said this before, it does not make sense that the leaders are corrupt, the leaders are crazy, the leaders are just degenerates, the leaders are idiots, the leaders are illiterate, the leaders don't care, they are violent, they just want chaos, they just want to cause trouble, they don't even care about the people, they don't even care about like building, they don't care about progress, they don't care about their citizens, they just want war. It doesn't make sense. So to me, I feel like what that means is that, like, there are a bunch of demons that, are, first of all, they are wise enough to be able to dominate and control human being, and then put themselves in positions of power, right? And but then they do that for the sole reason of just causing, because I've said before that demons are not like, bat-winged beasts that have red skin and horns and tails and, sharp claws and sharp teeth and stuff like that. No, demons are actual. They look like human beings. They look like you and I. They look normal, but the stuff that goes on in their head is entirely different from what goes on in the head of the average human being. They just want chaos, and the best way to cause chaos, the best way to cause the most maximum amount of damage, is to put yourself in a position of power where you can effect that much negative change, where you can like control things to the point where there is to the point of no return. So to me, that's what's going on. That's what is going on. Israel used to be this country where everybody sympathized with. I've read a lot of books concerning what happened in World War II with the whole Holocaust, with the whole Holocaust story and stuff like that. How Hitler killed a lot of people, how the Jews suffered, and all of that. But as in, from now till the end of time, nobody's going to remember Israel for that again. Like that story now, that story of Israel being the persecuted, being the ones that Hitler killed 60 million of them, being the ones that they were gassed in chambers, that they suffered during World War II. That story is over. You understand? That chapter has closed. They are no, like, you cannot call Israel the good guys again. They are not the good guys, because they've been constantly shelling the fuck out of Gaza for close to 2 years now. They've been constantly shelling the fuck, destroying citizens, destroying lives, destroying families, destroying property in Gaza, in Palestine. They've been killing a lot of people without remorse. Yes, we agree that, we accept and we agree that, yes, Hamas killed a lot of people on October 7, like 2 years ago, right? I think that was 2 years ago. Yes, nobody is denying that. But you cannot tell me that there wasn't any other way that the Israel Prime Minister or the Israel government, the Israeli government, could have gone about the situation. You cannot tell me that the only way, the only viable way, the only smart way, the only logical way for them to resolve the issue of the terrorism, the Hamas terrorism and the rest of the bullshit going on, is to just invade their land, destroy everywhere, kill a lot of children, destroy a lot of families. You cannot tell me that is the best way. It doesn't make sense that is the best way. That, like, literally, that is not the only way. Like, there are so many other things that you could have done. Just try to imagine with me for a second that after October 7, that Israel didn't, aggressively retaliate. You understand? Like, they didn't like go into Gaza and just like fuck the entire place up and destroy everybody. Instead, they went about it more amicably, more carefully. Not that I'm not even going to say that I'm not even going to say that it would have been wrong of them to go after the Hamas terrorists too. I mean, that is normal. It would be normal for them to, but do it logically. Yes, even though the Hamas people are going to like hide themselves in the midst of normal civilians and in schools and in hospitals and in mosques, there can still be other ways that in Israeli intelligence can go after them systematically, surgically, carefully, and then eliminate all of them without destroying everybody, without making everybody else their enemy. Everybody in the world now hates Israel. Every single person, except for the diehard Zionists and people who are not really, well versed, or should I say people who don't pay as much attention to what is going on, or Christians. There are Christians today that think that whatever Israel, that there are Christians today that support Israel regardless of whatever it is they are doing, because they believe, they have this inherent diehard belief that Jesus is going to come back, and is going, like, there is this connection between Jesus, the return of Jesus, and the entire geographical location of fucking Israel and Nazareth and Bethlehem and all those places in that region. So whatever it is that is going on in Israel, there are Christians that believe, like, they just believe that that the enemies of Israel are evil and sent by the devil to just destabilize the whole place. Meanwhile, it is a lot more complex than that. It's a lot more deeper than that. There is a lot more that is going on. It's not black and white. Like I said earlier, there are no good guys in this story. Do you understand? There are no good guys. The only good guys I can that I can just I can say are like the victims. The only good guys here are the victims, the people that have been affected by it negatively, the people that have lost babies. Like I've seen a lot of videos, I've seen a lot of footage of babies being blown to shreds. I've seen children die. I've like you cannot. This is not a war between good and evil. This is not a war between the good guy and the bad guy. This is not. There is not. It's just not it. That is not what is happening today. That is not what has been happening for the past 2 years. Do you understand? Israel is not the good guy. Hamas also is not the good guy. There are ways that this could have gone that will still, keep them in a position of respect, keep them in a position of in a place where people will still revere them and respect Israel as a nation. You understand? And still continue to keep them in that place of, oh, these people were persecuted in the past, and that is why we understand why they are doing what they are doing. Do you understand? But that is not the case. They just went ham, they just went crazy, they just went nuts and destroyed everywhere, destroyed the whole of Palestine, destroyed the whole of Gaza. And not even that they are doing it because they want to fish out the terrorists or anything. It's just that they just hate. If you speak to, yes, I understand that there is anti-Semitism, right? I understand that clearly. I understand that wholeheartedly. There are people that hate that. There are people that have always hated the Jews for some strange reason. I cannot quite put my hand on it, but there are people that have just always hated the Jews for no reason. But now it's beginning to seem like that reason for hatred is justified because the Israelis, they feel like this is the Holocaust happening all over again, but this time around it's the Jews that are the ones that it is the Jews that are now playing the part of the Germans. To me, this is like the Holocaust happening all over again, but the Jews this time around are the Germans, just making life a living hell for the Gazans, making life a living hell for Palestinians. I'm not, again, don't get me wrong, Hamas deserves to be eradicated, completely eliminated, out of existence. There should be no excuse for allowing good guys there should be no excuse for allowing bad guys to live. I'm not Batman where I don't kill people. No. If you're a terrorist, because terrorism is like evil, it is 100% objectively evil. For you to storm was it a parade, what do they even call itself? For you to storm a musical festival, like a show, and then just start shooting sporadically and just start killing everybody there. You're not a human being, you're a demon, regardless of whatever belief system that you have, regardless of whatever it is that your Allah or your Prophet Muhammad or your Quran tells you that is the right thing to do. If you're just entering into a crowded space and you're just killing people because you think that those people are not human beings, or because you think that those people are evil, bro, you're a demon. You're an actual demon. You see, demons are not winged fucking clawed-ass or demonic looking entities. No, humans are like me and you. Like I said earlier, humans are me and you, and demons are like me and you. They look exactly like me and you, but the kind of actions that they carry out is what makes them demons. The problem now is that the two sides are just doing the same thing. This issue can be resolved amicably, it can be resolved logically, it can be resolved peacefully. I see Trump telling Iran to surrender, but I don't think, but I'm going to get there eventually. I'm going to get to that point eventually. But the issue between Israel and Palestine can be resolved, even though there has been bloodshed, even though nobody knows who originally owns the land, nobody knows who was there first. Bro, people can live in peace, right? People can live in, but the thing is that they don't even want a two states, or they don't even want They don't even want a two-state solution. They don't want to like share the whole. They just want to continue killing themselves. That is what they feel is more comfortable and more and easier for them to do. Israel just wants to continue fucking up. Israel just wants to continue fucking up Palestine. They don't want to give them the land. The Palestinians say that the land is their holy land. They have their mosques there and all of that stuff. The Israelis say that they don't want the Palestinians there because they are waiting for Jesus, or they are waiting for their Messiah to return, and they want to remove the whole Palestinian, so that when they remove the whole Palestinian, they can build their temple on the land, like in Bethlehem or in Nazareth or somewhere like that. And so that will make their Messiah, whoever their Messiah is, to return, to fulfill some kind of obscure random prophecy for them. And I don't know, man. They just have this. They claim that the land is their own. They claim that the land belongs to them. They claim that the land was prophesied, or was bestowed, or was, what is the word I'm looking for now? The Israelis are claiming that the land was promised to them in their Torah, like in the Old Testament of the Bible. That is what they claim. So that's why they don't want to leave the land, right? They don't want to leave the land. Now, queuing. That was it 2 weeks ago, or that was last week or so, where Israel attacked Iran's nuclear sites, like their nuclear facilities and stuff, and then destroyed it. They attacked first because there has always been this obsession with Israel, thinking that Iran has nuclear weapons. Yes, I'm not saying that the Iranians are good guys in this story. I've like I said earlier, there are no good guys in this story. Iran has its own problem. They have their own big giant wahala. They just don't want to agree with. They are so fatalistic. They are so so suicidal. The Iranians are so suicidal. They, like, if they cannot get it, they don't want any other person to have it. So they would rather want everybody to die than for there to be peace. So the Iranians are very, very extremist. They are so fatalistic. They are so sadistic, and they are so fucking suicidal. So yes, I can understand that them getting a nuclear weapon will be very, very dangerous for the rest of the world. Everybody knows that. But so far, for how many fucking years now since I was born, we've been hearing that Iran is 2 months away from achieving nuclear capability. You see Netanyahu who come online and who come on the news and say Iran is like 6 weeks away from achieving nuclear capability. Another time again, he'll come online and again he says that Iran is like 3 months away. So, or he'll come just constantly, crying wolf, basically. Like the boy who cried wolf. He's just constantly saying the same thing over and over. But we don't know. It has never happened. Do you understand? It is yet to happen. That even though, yes, they are working hard on it. There are not a lot of countries, should I say, there are not a lot of nuclear capable countries that are willing to work with Iran because of their behavior. You understand? First of all, because of their behavior, nobody wants to like really work with them because they don't want to hear what they are just weird. Their culture is weird. Their way of life is weird. They are in the 21st century with the mindset of like 16th or even 15th century. You understand? They don't want to evolve. They don't want to grow. I mean, look at places like Saudi Arabia. Look at places like Oman. Look at places like Qatar. These are Muslim countries. These are Islamic countries that have evolved, that have come into the 21st century. I'm watching this show, the esports world, where Saudi Arabia is holding esports events, making a lot of money, bringing people, like trying to convince the world that they are different from the rest of the whole Muslim ideology and other Muslim countries. They just want to like create they just want to make the world understand that them too, they are just different. They are modern. They are sane. They are progressive. This is the image that Saudi Arabia is trying their best, even though they are still kind of conservative. They don't. You're not going to go to Saudi Arabia and start nakeding yourself or start claiming that you're trans or start behaving anyhow. That is just something that is. Uniquely Western and uniquely American. That is something that's only Americans or only the Westerners that is just something that only the Westerners have in their blood. That is not something that I believe can happen in any of these like progressive Muslim societies. Do you understand? But in the case of Iran, they don't want to progress. They don't want to evolve. They don't want to learn. They just want to continue being theocratic. They want to continue being led by their imam and their Muslim fucking all those their Muslim ideologies that don't make any sense today. So they don't have a lot of countries that are supporting, even though like I'm sure maybe North Korea or maybe what's it called, Russia kind of like supports them and stuff like that. But even I saw online that Russia is kind of like withdrawing its support for Iran because it also doesn't want this war to escalate. So Israel kind of like they poked first at Iran, like because they've always had this obsession. Netanyahu has always had this obsession that today or tomorrow Iran is going to get nuclear capabilities and then they're going to start nuking everybody in the entire world. I mean, North Korea has nuclear capabilities, right? But you don't see them like going about fucking everybody up. They know that if they, I think this whole nuclear capability, this whole nuclear war kind of like thing, this whole nuclear war thing is not as straightforward as ever. Like, I mean, for somebody to decide that they're going to use a nuclear war, they're going to use a nuclear bomb. Why am I just talking nonsense today? For a country, for a government to decide that they are going to use a nuclear bomb, bro, do you understand what that means? Even though they might not care about their citizens or they might not care about the opinions of their citizens, bro, if you use a nuclear bomb in this 2025, that you are automatically the bad guy, the enemy, number one enemy of the entire world, regardless of how much good that you have done in the past. I mean, look at Israel. Nobody nobody likes Israel anymore. Nobody likes Israel. Is an enemy now. Israel is the bad guy now. Israel, like if you're a Jew now, people clown on you. People like I saw a video where a bird was like poking at a Jew, like a seagull was just poking at it, just disturbing the Jew, just like pestering him for no reason. This is like, to me, this is like providence. This is like karma. You understand? Everybody's against Jews now because of what? Their country has turned out to be tyrannical. Nobody likes them. Nobody's going to sympathize with them. Like the whole story of the Holocaust that happened to them has now become so redundant, has now become so useless. Like it does not matter anymore because that time has passed. That epoch has passed. That, as in, it does not matter anymore. You people now are the bad guys. Like you people, I mean, I've seen videos of where Israelis are making fun of Palestinians that are going through hard times. Like they are actually clowning on them. They are making fun of them. They are mocking them in their misery, mocking them in their suffering. You understand? I saw a video where a girl was like, there is this girl that was mocking Palestinians, and then now she's crying because her home was blown up by Iranian bombs. So Israel attacked Iran, and then Iran retaliated. Obviously they had to like retaliate. But the problem there now is that it doesn't seem like the Iranians, or should I say, it doesn't seem like the Israelis are ready to defend themselves. Like it looks to me like the defense capabilities of the Iron Dome is no longer, as in, is weak. The defense capabilities of the Iron Dome is weak. Like I said, I don't know if I said this earlier. The defense capabilities of the Iron Dome is weak. But is it actually really weak? Is it that the Iranian missiles are more advanced than the defense capabilities of the Iron Dome, or is the Israeli government just allowing it to happen so that they will have justification to do something a lot more drastic to Iran? But what will that achieve? Like, won't that just continue to make everybody hate on them more and more? Or is it that they don't just care about they don't care about the opinions of the rest of the world? Like bro, it doesn't make a lot of sense. it doesn't make a lot of sense if you actually think deeply about it. Like, why can't there just be amicable understanding between all these parties involved? Like, why can't people just like come to, like, what is his name? Trump was talking about Iran, like trying to convince Iran to surrender or like give up or lay down their weapons and try to like make peace. But it doesn't. To me, it doesn't even look like Israel wants to make peace with Iran. They just want to continue. They just want to like aggravate them more and more so that they will have enough reasons to attack Israel full on. Sorry. So that they will have enough reasons to attack Iran full on and head on, and do the same thing that they've been doing to the Palestinians. But it's not looking that way, because Iran has been shelling the fuck out of them for whatever reason. Maybe they are allowing it to happen. Maybe their Iron Dome is no longer as defensive as it used to be. Maybe something is going on behind the scenes that we don't even know about. But the reality that is going on now is that Iran has been shelling the fuck out of Tel Aviv. It has been shelling the fuck out of. There are so many places that Iran has been dropping bombs. I don't even know how, like, they are dropping bombs from 2,000 miles away into Israel. I don't even know how that is happening. But what matters is that it has been happening, and it is happening. And now, that promised land that these people claim that is their own, that promised land that they didn't want to leave before. They didn't want to leave for the Palestinians. They didn't want to leave for the Gazans. Now they're now leaving. God. They're now leaving the promised land. They're now running away. So they're now entering. They're now taking flights. They're leaving Israel. Like, the Israelis are leaving the country itself. It's not even that they're hiding in bunkers anymore. Like, the bunkers are not even working. They are leaving the entire Israel. So it's kind of surprising to me that, wow, this is what it had to take. It had to take bombs dropping on them for, like, it shows how hypocritical they are. Like, these are people that claim that the land is their own, that they will die on the land, that nothing can make them to leave the land, or nothing can make them to give up their land, because this land has been promised to them. This land has been bestowed upon them, because it is something that is prophetic in nature. But it's kind of odd. It's kind of weird that they are leaving. They are running away. They're just like abandoning the whole thing and just running away, because they keep getting shelled every fucking single day, man. Without, as in, the Iranians, again, I'm not saying I support Iran. I'm not saying that the Iranians are the good guys. I'm not saying that what they're doing is good, or they're democratic in nature, or they're progressive, or any of that stuff. But there is a bad guy, which are the Iranians, and then but there is a badder guy, which is the Israelis. And it's kind of odd that everybody, as in, bro, you have to be a certain level of bad, you have to be a certain level of evil for everybody in the world to be cheering that you're being bombed by another bad guy. It's kind of crazy, right? That everybody in the world, most people are happy that you're getting bombed, you're getting nuked by another guy that everybody in the same world agrees is also a bad guy. What happened to Israel? Kai, bro, this is the fall of civilization. God, this is a fall of civilization. This is what they mean by when they say the civilization is falling. This is it, man. This is going, like, I'm trying to imagine how this story is going to end, because at the end of the day, this is a story. We are looking at, as in, I always read about events in history that happened in the past. I always read about stuff like that. All those stuff, they always fascinate me. Like, when I read about wars that happened in the past, I always try to imagine what life must have been like back then for, the normal everyday people involved that were affected by it. And then the people that were spearheading the events, the wars and stuff like that. I always try to, like, imagine, put myself in that scenario, put myself in that situation. Just try to imagine what it must have felt like and what it might have been like. For example, now, during the time of Genghis Khan, when he invades cities and, like, destroys cities and kills everybody and, like, just causes chaos everywhere he goes. or someone like Alexander the Great that was a conqueror. Do you understand? Like all those stories, like all those, like, or should I say, what is this book that I read? Killers of the Flower Moon. Bro, all these books where there's so much like guns, rose, and steel. Like there's so much war, there's so much bloodshed. I always like to like imagine what life must have been like back then. Also, when it comes to politics, also when it comes to economics, I always like to think of how the intellectuals of that time reacted, and when they were making all those, like when they were coming up with all those quotes and books and sayings and laws and stuff like that. I always like to think of how it must have been back then. And but now I am in that situation. Do you understand? Now I am in that situation where history is literally going on right in front of me. It's literally happening in my time. Things that will be talked about 100 years from now, things that will be talked about 1,000 years from now, is actually happening right now as I am alive. And it's kind of surreal. It's kind of weird. It's kind of odd. It's crazy. It's crazy that I am part of history. It's crazy that I am going through this. Like I am going through this thing right now. Like I am in this time. I am a witness to it, and I don't want to be, just a silent observer. I don't want to be a silent witness. I want it to be that when they are talking about these events in the future, there might be, because my voice is like very, very small, like my reach is very, very tiny. But how we always like to like quote, when we're talking about things that happened in the past, and then maybe there is like some obscure observer that talked about something that linked something between something that happened in the past that maybe not everybody might have known about, and then they kind of like quote the observer and stuff like that. I just want to be part of that. Do you understand? I don't want to be a silent observer. I want it to be that 1,000 years from now or 150 years from now, when people are talking about these events that are happening as we speak, as we are existing today, that there is a minute, tiniest chance that I can be quoted. Like I might be quoted. Like, do you understand? I don't know if anybody understands what I'm trying to say. Like I just want to be part of history. I just want to be part of all that is going on in my own tiny, minuscule, insignificant way. So I don't know how this story is going to end. Maybe it's going to World War III is eventually going to erupt, and that war that they are looking for, everybody's body has been boiling, everybody's blood is just so hot, everybody's so frantic, and everybody's so agitated and aggressive. That war that people are looking for, that grand war, that great war that everybody wants to be involved with, all this world government, all this demonic world government that just wants chaos, that just wants everywhere to be upturned and upset and destroyed and just scattered. That thing that they're looking for, maybe that is what is going to cause the story to end. Maybe that is what is going to bring the story to a conclusion, that they're going to get that war that they're looking for, and eventually everybody is going to calm down. There's going to be a reset. Everybody's going to calm down. Everything will go back to normal. Countries that are already at the brink of destruction will finally get destroyed, and then they will now compartmentalize and go back to, tribes will come together. Everybody will come together in their own tiny way, and everything will start all over again gradually, and whatever. I don't know if you guys understand what I'm saying, but all that matters is that this is crazy. We are going through history right now. We are living through history right now. We are witnessing events that will be talked about in 1,000 years time. We don't know how it's going to end. We don't know we don't know what is going to happen, but what matters is that it's happening. We are living through it. We are being witnesses to it, and it's exciting. It's scary, but it's also exciting. I just hope that I live long enough to see the outcome of it, because I like to see the end of every good story, and this is a very good story, and I hope that I can live long enough to see how it ends. So that's that about that. That is the first thing I want to talk about today. Second thing I want to talk about today is eugenics. I know this is a topic that most people will frown upon because everybody has this perceived moral obligation to not do harm to people that are handicapped or people that have special needs, or people that are not I don't know the right word to use now. That'll not get me cancelled. But you understand what I mean, right? But but the truth of the matter is this. I've talked about this before. The truth of the matter is this: it's unfair. It's unfair to people who are handicapped. It's unfair to people who have neurological disorder or physical disorder. You understand? It's unfair to allow them to live long enough to continue to suffer that much. Because if you're a farmer, right? If you're a farmer, in fact, the very idea of GMOs, that's genetically modified organisms, right? The very idea of them is to take the best out of the best of them and continue to replant and reproduce and just reintroduce them back into the system, and they keep evolving and getting better. That's how we get juicy watermelons. That's how we get lemons. That's how we get bananas that are giant. That's how we get, plants that are foods that are edible today. That are the food. Most of the foods that we eat today do not look how they used to look like 1,000 years ago or like 2,000 years ago. They are a lot more different than they are today. So that's what genetically modified organisms are. It's not like I understand that. Yes, these days they spray deadly chemicals on foods to make them bigger and then to protect them from pests and stuff like that. But in the past, the way food used to be, the way food like seeds and seedlings and roots and stuff evolved is that the farmers will see the ones that are doing very well, and then they'll take the seeds of those ones that are doing very well and then replant them and take care of them properly, and then those ones that are doing, and then they'll regrow again, and then just over and over again. And then as time goes on, you see that if you look at the way they currently are, you see that they are a lot more different than the way that they used to be. And it even happens with animals too. Like you see, like for example now, sheep, like woolly sheep, like what they call them, sheep, right? Rams, like sheeps, right? Like normal sheeps that have wool. Their wools didn't used to be as thick. Like the wools on them didn't used to be as thick as they are today. They had to be like, it was like I'm not even going to say natural selection. It was artificial selection. Like farmers would take the sheep that had like thicker wools, and then mate them with other sheep that had thick wools also, and then their offsprings will have like thicker wools, and then as time goes on, it just continues to go like that until they get to the way that they currently are today. So that is just the same thing that I presume that every logical society should be doing. In fact, in the past we used to do it, but like how we human beings are just daft and retarded. We used to do it in the wrong way. Like in the past, like for example now in the Igbo culture, they used to kill twins in the Igbo culture because they had the belief that twins were either demons. I don't know why they would think that, or twins were not supposed to exist because human beings are not supposed to reproduce like chickens, like animals and stuff like that. So they had this belief that twins were not supposed to exist, and so twins used to be killed in the past until that practice was stopped. But also handicaps too used to be killed also. But like I'm not saying that I'm not saying that everybody should go and start killing like people that are born. That's not what I'm saying, but I'm just trying to explain that it is unfair. Like for example now I saw this video where two Filipinian teenagers, their heads are glued together. Like they are born, like their entire body is separate. The only thing that is just attached is their heads. Like their faces, one part of the face is attached to the other one's part of like, it's so weird, bro. And it's so, as in, like, I cannot, me personally, if that kind of thing happens to me, I will not in good faith allow those babies to live. I'm just telling you my mind, because I will love them too much to allow them to suffer like that for the rest of their life. I'm not being evil. I'm not being wicked. I am, like, this is what I consider love. Like, I love you too much to allow you to suffer like that for the rest of your life. Like, those girls, they can't walk straight. One has to always walk backwards for the other one to walk forwards, because their faces are glued together, right? Their faces are literally glued together. Both of them have one eye each. Like their mouths are, like in their faces. I cannot even understand how they breathe. Do you understand? I don't even know how they breathe. I cannot even explain it. So that to me is not life. Life is not supposed to be lived like that for other people's moral gratification. Like, oh, I cannot like, end your suffering because of my moral obligation to look like a good person, or to sound just to feel like I'm a good person. That does not sometimes morality does not mean that you have to live and let live kind of life. Sometimes it is like, for example, now there is this video I was watching where a Russian soldier and a Ukrainian soldier were fighting, right? And then the Russian soldier bested him and eventually stabbed him. And then the Ukrainian soldier was like, okay, leave me to die in peace. You understand? Like, both of them, they just threw away their hatred for each other. They threw away whatever animosity or fucking hatred they had towards each other. And then the Russian soldier was like, kind of consoling him and telling him that he was a good fighter. And the Russian, like, it was just so heartwarming. These are two people that were literally fighting a minute ago, fighting to the death, and then one managed to stab the other one, and then both of them just suddenly became brothers. And then the Russian soldier was consoling the Ukrainian soldier, and then the Ukrainian soldier was like, can you just help me end it quickly? And then the Russian soldier threw a grenade on him, and then the Ukrainian soldier, to me, that is morality. Do you understand? Like, morality does not always have to involve you not doing any harm. Sometimes morality involves someone doing harm just for the greater good. Just for the greater good. So that is the same ideology. That is the same kind of logic I'm using to apply in this case now. Like, all these conjoined twins, do you understand? Like, all these conjoined twins, yes, okay, like we all know about the famous ones where they are the conjoined twin girls, where they are divided from their spine. So, like, well, bro, you have seen the thumbnail. You understand what I'm talking about, right? And that can be, like, you can do that. Do you understand? Like, you can do that. You can put them to sleep humanely, like in the most humane way possible, and also carry out your scientific and medical investigation on how their anatomy looks like. You understand? It's kind of, I don't know. Yes, one can make the argument that they might be living their lives happily. Like, I've seen, like, the two girls that are the two twin girls. They are actually married. First of all, I don't even understand how they like, bro. This life is just odd, man. This life is just weird. Like, those two girls, they are married. Are they two girls? They are two girls because they have two heads and they have two bodies, they have two hearts, but the only difference is that they share one stomach, and they have two legs. Do you understand? Man, but they are married. Like, you yourself, you're a guy, right? The guy that married them, the person that married those girls, like, what kind of freak? Why am I? What kind of freak is that, bro? That guy married those two girls. So, like, let's just talk about this for a while, right? So, he's married to them. So when they're having sex, Like what is going on? Like what is going on? What is going on? What is actually going on when he's having sex with them? Like I saw a video of where he was kissing them, and he was like, bro, he just blew the fuck out of my mind. I don't even know what to think. God, I don't know how to. I don't know how to land on this matter right now. It's just odd. It's just weird. As in, it is not something that you see every day, obviously. So it's kind of alien to me, and it's kind of odd to me, and I'm finding it very difficult to wrap my head around. Do you understand? But it's normal. Like I'm as in, there's no denying that it is normal. Like they are not the only one. Like there is no denying that it is normal. Yes, you can argue that they have the right to live. They have the right to live. Like who are you to make that decision for them to end their lives like that, because they don't suit your, or they don't fit your what you think a normal human being should be. They don't fit your criteria for a normal human being. Like who are you to kind of make that decision for them? That is kind of stupid, actually. Now that I'm actually thinking of it, like who am I to actually make that decision for them? Who am I to say that they have to die? Who am I to invoke this idea of eugenics to them? That's just fucking demonic. That's just stupid, man. But then again, those ones are, yes, as in life can be possible for them, even though life can, like, okay, now the two Filipino girls that their heads are stuck together, there is no privacy. Their faces are literally glued together, to the point where, like, imagine if one has bad breaths. Like, okay, do they even have noses? I don't even think they have noses. So can they smell? So, and another thing again is that one always have to walk backwards for the other one to walk forwards. And when they are climbing upstairs or when they are going downstairs, it's kind of awkward and uncomfortable, and just it's not fluid. It's just weird. It's just odd. So I always feel, as in, I just feel sorry for them, that is their life, and that is the life that they've been living for. They are teenagers now. I don't know how old they are, maybe 16 years or so, and that is the life that they've been living for the past 16 years. And now that they are young, things might be kind of, because their bodies are still young and supple and stuff like that. But what if how about when they get old? When their bones start cracking, when their hips start, like, how about when they get old, bro? Okay, how about when one is on the toilets? Do you understand? Like when one is in the toilet, like, so you just be on the toilet there, you just be in the toilet waiting for your other twin sister to just take a shit, and you just wait for her and everything. Bro, it doesn't make sense to me. See, there will always be hierarchy of things, obviously. There will always be hierarchy of things. But the thing there is that there are some types of conjoined twins that it is unfair to allow them to live long enough to gain consciousness and, to navigate a world that was not designed for them. It is unfair. So it's better to just like put them to sleep when they are still babies. Like there's some kind of they're not even only conjoined twins, like there's some kind of disorders, and there's some kind of diseases, and there's some kind of like physical disabilities that people are born with, that it is literally unfair to allow them to live. It's not like I'm trying to be Hitler, or I'm trying to be Hitler to like just remove people I feel are inadequate in society, and just remove them and erase them and just take away their right to live or their right to exist in this world. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm saying is that it is too what I'm just trying to explain, or the point I'm trying to make is that it's unfair. It's just unfair. It's too unfair to allow them to suffer like that. Okay, now man, there is so much to unpack. there is so much to unpack. Okay, what if how are they going to, as in the ones that have like the twin girls I was talking about earlier that already got married, at least they have like they are sharing, both of them, like just both of them are sharing two legs. So two people, like they are like they look like the letter Y. Just imagine the letter Y, the capital letter Y. That's what they look like. So both of them they have two separate bodies, but they are sharing two legs. And so yes, it is kind of like, even though you're going to have sex with them, like this is their husband now, bro. Good. Good. This is their husband now that's they've gotten married to. And when they're having sex, like, is it going to affect both of them at the same time? Like, I don't know how that works. You understand? I cannot even begin to imagine how that works. But either way, it works for them somehow. Even though I don't know how it works for them. But then these other two girls, now that their heads are joined together, they have their own entire separate bodies. Like they're just imagine two entire separate people that have their heads glued together, like their faces, not even like by the side, like the front of their faces glued together. That is how these girls are. So when they come of age, when they are of age, right, and it's time for them to start having like going on dates and stuff like that, and having romantic partners and stuff, like, how is that even going to pan out? Like, how is that? Are they also going to have to date the same guy? What if they have two entirely different personalities and they don't even like the same kind of guy? How is that even going to? I don't know, man. I don't know. All I'm just trying to say is that it's unfair for them to have lived this long. Unfair to them. This is to tell you that there is no supernatural power, or there is no intelligent being behind creation. It just happens. You understand? It just happens. As in, nature does not care. Sometimes it can make drastic mistakes. Sometimes it can, like, nature does not care. It's all combinations. Do you understand? It's all combinations. That's why you can get a male lion and a female tiger, and then make them procreate, and then they will give birth to a liger. You can bring a zebra and a horse, and then you can make a zebra and a horse like procreate, and then they will give birth to an animal that looks both like a zebra and a horse. You can bring a horse and a donkey, and then make them procreate, and then they will give birth to a mule. But a mule cannot procreate. Do you understand? Like, you can make all these different combinations, and it will always result to some, like, combinations of the same species. Don't get me wrong. Like, you cannot. I don't. To the best of my knowledge, I don't think that there has been a hybrid of human and chimpanzee kind of like creation. I don't think so. Maybe it's in some dark web kind of. I don't know. I've never. I don't even want to think of that kind of abomination. Do you understand? But I hope everybody understands what I'm trying to say. Just bear with me, please. Bear the fuck with me. I'm not saying that I support eugenics in the sense that you have to go and start killing everybody that is handicapped, or has a physical disorder or neurological disorder. It's not fair. Like, I watched a video where a bunch of Down syndrome old ladies, and they are just like having fun at a party. It was cute, it was nice, it was heartwarming. That is not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that, guy, yeah, please, everybody should understand me. You understand? All right, so that's the second point I want to make today. So the second thing I want to talk about today, the third and final thing I want to talk about today, bro. There is this new nonsense that is happening today in society. Like, obviously, like, we cannot, it is not, as in, we are no longer capable of denying the fact that corporations, like all these companies they've gotten so much of our information. They know so much about us. They know every detail about us, that they know how to manipulate us. They know exactly what we want. They know how to like get into our brains and into our minds and into our psyche to know what we like. They'll just, like, the other day, I used to think that I used to think, this is what I used to think in the past, that when your phone is listening to you, right? Or when you're scrolling through, when you're doom scrolling, and then you see ads are just constantly shown to you. So I have never ever, I have never ever like fallen for any of those ads. Like most of these things, I don't take them seriously. All these ads, I don't take them seriously, right? I used to think that like I've always been impervious to them, I've always been impervious to their tricks. Like I've never fallen for their tricks, or I've never like fallen for any ads. Do you understand? Like I never buy any ads, or I never do anything online I always feel like I'm in control of myself, right? So, but then one time like that, I was like kind of like doom scrolling, and I was thinking of actually making steak. Like I was like normally it's not like I've never made, it's not like I always make steak, right? So but then that day I was like kind of like thinking of it. Like I was like, I really want to make steak today, but I just don't have the strength, or I just don't have the will to do it. All of a sudden I started seeing steak online, bro. God. All of a sudden I started seeing videos, but then again, I always watch videos of steak, of people of me. Like there's this guy I watch on YouTube. He makes steaks every day. Like he makes steaks every single day. And then I started seeing videos of steaks. Maybe that, I don't know, man. I don't know if both of them are connected, but I just started seeing videos of steaks that day, and then it just my hunger for it kind of increased, and it made me actually buy steak and prepare it and stuff like that. So these corporations, right, they know how to like manipulate us. They know every button to push. They know what to do about us. They know us more than we know ourselves, and they have, like, we always think that ExpressVPN or NordVPN or any of these VPN companies will kind of protect us from data collectors or data thieves. And we always think that there's this other one now, there's this new one that the YouTubers keep advertising, that will wipe your data away for you, and companies will not like get your data anymore. Bro, there are 1,001 ways that companies can get your data that don't even require you being online. There's this bed called 8 Sleep, right? 8 Sleep is like kind of, it has technology in it. It knows your kind of sleep schedule. It knows when you wake up. It knows how you feel when you go to bed. The data that it collects from how you sleep can be shared. Like, how are you going to like block, bro? Your fucking wrist, your what do you call it? Your wrist, by your Apple wristwatch that tracks your blood and your heartbeat and stuff like that. That is data, bro. It can take your, like, there are so many ways that your data can be manipulated. There are so many ways that your data can be stolen and used against you. So at this point in time now, in our current technological climate, there is no way that we can be impervious, or there is no way that we can't be like, we will always be susceptible to it, to our data being used against us. So the new one now that is going on, that everybody, like, it sprouted out of nowhere, that is even kind of it scares me. Is like, I saw it, the first time I saw it was when a Nigerian girl bought it, this Labubu. It's called Labubu. I don't even, bro. It's called Labubu. Yeah, the first time I saw it was when a Nigerian girl bought it. Like, one of these Nigerian influencers was showing it off on her page, and I was like, isn't this just like a $5 doll that they make everywhere? Like, when you go to a park, no, not a park, when you go to a, what they call it, a carnival, not carnival, bro, carnival. When you go to an amusement park, right? When those little games you can play, like you can shoot arrows at, and those stuffed toys that you win, right? Everybody just go online and look up what Labubu is. That's what it literally is. It doesn't, like, there is no as in, bro, man, let me just collect my thoughts, because this thing is kind of like driving me crazy. There is nothing special about it. there is 100% not. It's not like it's a Superman figurine, or it's not like it's like a Pokemon card that is worth anything. It's not like it's like there's nothing special about it. But I'm seeing videos of people literally losing their minds when they get this stuff, when they buy it, literally losing their minds. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, what is going on in this society where that nonsense little or insignificant stuffed toy that is made for less than $2 in China is what is blowing people's mind, just because of what it is, something that they can stick to their handbags. And I don't know why they find it special. I don't know what makes it special. I don't know why it is blowing people's minds. I don't get it. They've made us mindless consumers. Like these people, these corporations, the powers that be, they have succeeded. They have won. If it is the Illuminati that is behind all of this degeneracy, the Illuminati has won. If it is China that is behind all of this degeneracy, all of this hedonism, they have won. Because tell me why people are literally, there are even what do you call it, shows dedicated to the types of Labubu that people have. Like people win prizes for having special types of Labubu. Like this is not even that. It's not even that the thing is scarce. If it was scarce, right, then the demand for it to be high, and that will make the supply, that will make its price go up because it's scarce, and then people want it, and the supply is high, which will in turn make the price go up, right? But one person can have like 50 of it. You understand? So it's not like it's scarce. There is nothing special. I don't see anything special about it, but yet people are so obsessed with it. It has become idol. As in, bro, it's oh god. This world is weird, right? I always say that this world is weird. And I wish that people can really understand me when I say that this world is weird. This world is really, really weird. Like what is going on in this world? That's like what people have this. There's this inherent, like primordial, primitive need for happiness that people are lacking these days. Like it seems like they've lost that ability to be inherently happy and to be connected to nature and to be, just to be fulfilled, to be self-fulfilled. And so every little tiny distraction, every little tiny thing, insignificant thing that can give them any iota of joy, they'll cling to it like parasites. They'll cling to it like fucking parasites, and it will be their god. It will be their latest obsession. It will be the thing that gives them that joy that they lack, that happiness that they lack, that fulfillment that has been lost on them. And these corporations know about that so well, and then they use it against not them, not us, because I'm not part of it, people. Like I am not part of them. I'm not part of that culture. They use it against them, these mindless consumers. They shove things that you don't need down your throat all the fucking time. Like you see people buying things that they don't need. When you see people like moving to new apartments or moving to new places, right? You see one person has loads and loads and loads of things, and you're like, when do you even have the time to use all these things, to properly use all of these things that you have gathered, all of these obsessions that you have? I watch videos of people where they have figurines in their background, like all these like pop head figurines in their background, thinking that one day those pop head figurines that they have in the background of their videos is going to suddenly somehow, for some strange reason, worth a lot of money, and then when they sell it, it's going to make them a lot of money. Like you see people with a lot of stuff. People have so much stuff. You see people having like 100 shoes. Like the other day I saw this post from one of Drake's posts where he posted a warehouse, like an actual warehouse of clothes. And then you now ask yourself, like, guy, like, does this make you happy? For you to have a warehouse of clothes, like, does that make you happy in life? Does that make you, as in, is that what, let's assume that there is a God in this world, right? Is that what God brought you into this world to have and to be? You see people having like 1,000 wristwatches, or wristwatches that cost like $1 million. You see people having, like, you see people living in mansions that, like, you see people living in mansions that with 10 rooms and 15 bathrooms and a giant lawn and swimming pools and 20 car garages. And bro, you just like, mindless consumerism. This is the disadvantage of capitalism. I'm not saying that capitalism is bad, though. I'm just saying that there are disadvantages to it, where people become so obsessed with having that their obsession with having becomes an addiction, and they just cannot stop having. They just have to have the latest thing. The new iPhone comes out, you see people, like the people that change their phones every single year. And I mean that I'm still using my iPhone 6, and I'm like, but why though? Like, is the old one not working for you? Is the old one not still good? Like, why are you changed? Like, why do you have this incessant and inherent need to have the latest stuff? You understand? I'm not saying that it is not good. I'm not saying that it is that progress is bad. That is not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that for someone to have something new is a bad thing. No. I mean, there are things that I really want to have. There are things that I love that I want to have. But it doesn't mean that I have to be like I have to have an obsession of having just keep gathering stuff that I don't need. Like, most of the things that people have, they don't even need. You understand? Most of what people have, they don't need. They are human beings. Human beings have been designed to survive by the barest minimum. Doesn't mean that you have to. It doesn't mean that your life. It doesn't mean that you have to live your life by the barest minimum. No, that's not what I'm saying. But we just have the. We know how to adapt, and we know how to survive, and we can survive. We can survive on the barest minimum. So, but for people to now start accumulating, to have this obsession with accumulating stuff that they don't need, it's kind of weird. It's just odd and it's sad. And you see how to know an insecure person or somebody that is sad in their life is when they, when they are encumbered with so many things. Like, you see people wearing gold chains, like heavy gold chains, like heavy as gold chains that will be drawing their neck down, that will be so heavy on their neck. You see people wearing gold watches, you see people wearing gold grills like on their teeth. And I'll now be asking myself, like, how are you comfortable with wearing all of that stuff in your mouth? Do you understand? Like, me, I don't like, simplicity is beautiful. Simplicity has always been beautiful. Like, just keep things simple, right? Keep things simple. Like, what is the point? Like, who are you trying to impress? Like, what is going on in your mind that you think that having all of that stuff is meaningful, or will give you meaning in your life, or will bring value, is valuable? It doesn't make any sense. Like, it just does not make any sense to me. And human beings are so uniquely different from each other that it can make sense to one person and it can make a zero amount of sense to another person. You see people, like, for example, now this Bonner boy now that bought this new McLaren Senna. This is that, like I was saying earlier, this is how you know people that are insecure. This is how to know people that, maybe they are sad, they are unfulfilled in their lives, and they feel like having those things is going to, maybe they just don't have love in their life. So, or they just don't have people that appreciate them in their lives, or they just don't have people that genuinely love them, or they don't have genuine friends, or they don't have people that they can trust, or they don't have people they don't feel seen. Do you understand? They've always felt, overlooked. They've always felt unimportant. And so when they are in positions where they are able to get those things for themselves, they then feel like getting those things for themselves is what is going to make them feel important. That's why we have politicians in Nigeria that we have politicians in Nigeria that would rather have a convoy of 50 cars and then drive those convoy of 50 cars on bad roads, roads that are flooded, roads that are bad, roads that are non-existent, essentially. That's why we have politicians in Nigeria that will steal money meant for the infrastructures of the states, steal money meant to build schools, meant to build roads, meant to build hospitals, meant to build street lights, meant to build create electricity, meant to create jobs. They will steal the money, they will hoard the money for themselves, and just so that they can show off. And then you're just sitting there and observing all these things, and you're like, I'm part of history. This is history in the making. This is what is going on right now, and I am observing, and I am a witness to all of it. And you're just like, you're just there like, wow, this is actually happening. This is the kind of world that I am living in. This is the reality that I have found myself to be existing in. It's fucked up. It's so fucking fucked up. It's so fucking fucked up, man. The last thing I want to talk about, I can never end without at least talking about Nigeria, the problem that is going on in Nigeria. In my previous episode, I talked about how there was a terrorist attack in Nigeria that happened in Benue State, and after so much reluctance, and after so much reluctance and so much, it's like they are forcing him to go there to console the people. The useless president of Nigeria, the most useless soul in Nigeria, the most insecure fool, the most insecure idiot in Nigeria, the president of Nigeria, finally went there. And the day that he went there, right, it was raining heavily. This is to show you how much of a demon this guy is, this old fool is. This is to show you how much of a demon is. It was raining heavily, and he was going to see people that were victims of terrorism. And the day that he landed there and he was going there, it was raining heavily. And like, if I come and start talking about Nigeria now, it's going to take me another hour. They had school children, like they had a lot of school children stand by the roadside under the rain to greet the president as his massive 100-car convoy was zooming past them and splashing rainwater on them. God, it was just so comical to watch, because it does not obviously we have already established, it is already a law on this podcast. It is already canon on this podcast that nothing in Nigeria makes sense. Like, nothing in Nigeria makes sense. We have already established that fact, right? Like, we can literally go online now. The first thing that you see that is coming out of Nigeria does not make sense. Like, let me go on Twitter. I'm on Twitter right now. I'm scrolling. The first thing I am seeing that is coming out of Nigeria right now as I am talking to you is of somebody fucking shaving somebody's pubes. Like, this is somebody's job, right? Shaving somebody's pubes. This is to tell you how fucked up Nigeria is as a country. Like, the mentality of the people in general is fucked up. Like, the mentality of Nigerians is so bad that I am thinking of introducing ibogaine therapy to Nigerians, so that at least there'll be a form of resetting. Like, because the country is mad. Like, the country is cursed. Nigeria is a country that is dead. Is a dead country. Like, Nigeria, imagine that Nigeria is a human being. Nigeria is dead. Dead. But yet, they don't want to bury it. Do you understand? Nigeria is a dead country that the leaders don't want to allow to be buried. And what I mean by burying is like, just as in, separate the country. Just allow the country to be separated. Because nothing is working in the country. Like, the system is non-existent. There is no system that is working in Nigeria. There is literally nothing in Nigeria that is working. So it will be best for the country to be separated. Let the Yorubas have their own country. Let the Hausas have their own country. Let the Igbos have their own country. Do you understand? That way, there will be coherence in the sense that now there are people that have a common there are people that have a common connection, which is their language. There won't be this, loggerhead between Yoruba and Igbos and Hausas anymore. Now the Igbos are on their own. Everybody knows how to speak Igbo. Do you understand? Everybody can relate to each other. Everybody is a Christian. Everybody is either Protestant or Catholic. Do you understand? So everybody knows how to understand each other now. And now everybody now is Igbo. We now have the Biafran land. We can now be able to communicate very, very well, just like the Japanese. You understand? We'll have this sense of patriotism. We'll have this collective sense of genuine patriotism, and we can work together. There will be no more like, we know who is coming in now. If these Fulani headsmen are we know how to handle them. Do you understand? We'll create new laws for ourselves and stuff like that. So that is what the country needs. But the truth of the matter is that it cannot happen because there are people that are benefiting from it being, from Nigeria still being Nigeria as a whole. There are people that are benefiting greatly from it, and Nigeria breaking into parts will make them lose those benefits, and to be bad for them. So that's why they don't want it. So this fool went to visit the victims of the terrorist attack, and he allowed, imagine allowing, not only did he allow those children to be under the rain, standing under the heavy rain, waving at him as his convoy was passing by. The convoys, you know how they always speed now, they always like drive so fast, they are splashing water on those kids. Now I'm now imagining how many of them must have fallen sick because of that. He just makes things worse. Like, it would have been better for him not to even come. Don't come. He himself said that he knows that Nigerians hate him. He knows that Nigerians hate him. So he already knows how we feel about him. So don't come. It would have been better if he didn't come. So that we just continue to know you're a fool. You're a disgrace to the country. You're a disgrace to the country. See, another point I want to make again is that nobody knows about this guy's history. Nobody knows where he went to school. Nobody knows his real age. Nobody knows his family. Nobody knows where he grew up. There is not much known about him. Meanwhile, we've heard stories of how CIA creates like agents. They breed agents from when they are born, or should I say from when they are young, and then when those agents come of age, they send them to different parts of the world to like destabilize societies and stuff like that. So who knows? It is already a known fact that he was a CIA agent. It's already a known fact that he was a drug dealer in America, and then it's already a known fact that this person is a bad guy. He's an evil person. But for some strange reason, whatever cosmic power, whatever cosmic God that exists allowed him to be a president of Nigeria today. I don't know why. Maybe in the grand scheme of things, this is a lesson that Nigerians are learning, so that after this time, when the next election comes, if we fuck up again, we're on our own. Like there are videos of Muslims tearing down billboards with his face, billboards that have his face on it. Nobody, bro. The people that are still in support of him are just, people that deserve eugenics. You understand? People that are in support of Tinubu today are just people that don't know anything that is going on in Nigeria. They are just in support of him because he's a Yoruba man. He's a supposed Yoruba man. That is the only reason why anybody would support him. And the money that maybe they are gaining small 100,000 from him, from his I don't know, just like, I don't know any sensible person in Nigeria today that supports or likes Tinubu or will vote for him. But yet he's still going about campaigning. This is to show you the extent of the kind of evil that is in him. You are evil. You are a bad president. You have not achieved any good thing. The country has gotten worse throughout your regime as the president of the country. Everything is worse. Insecurity is high. Injustice is high. Kidnapping is high. Food price is high. Inflation is high. Everything is just bad in the country. Yet he's still campaigning to be that he must win the next election. Who, like, if he's saying that he wants to win the next election, how is he going to win the next election? How? Like, who in their right minds? Obviously, yes, there are still some Almajiri people that there's a video I saw where some Almajiri people were, all these Hausa people that don't have sense. Like all these misinformed, illiterate Hausa people. That is all I can say about that. That don't have sense. They are still standing for him. They're still like waving flags for him. But those people are not the majority of Nigerians. Like most Nigerians have been affected negatively by this Tinubu regime, and I don't imagine that they are going to make the same mistake again come 2027 election. That is if Nigeria self is going to exist by 2027, because like I always say, with the way AI is growing exponentially, by the time it has reached artificial general intelligence and taking over so many things, not even only jobs, because jobs will be the first thing that it's already taken over jobs. Like graphic designing now it has become redundant. What they call it, Photoshop now. Graphic designing basically has become redundant. The next thing now that AI is coming for is Hollywood, because the new AI video generation now that VO3 and Kling and all these new AI companies are making, with how good they are, just give it a year, Hollywood is gone. Hollywood is gone. Like, just give it a year. Just today is what, the 21st of June. 21st of June 2026, bro. Where it would be, Hollywood will be redundant. All these actors that feel like they are gods and they are high and mighty and stuff like that. That is the next topic I'm going to talk about in my next episode. It will be gone. So with the way AI is growing exponentially now, the first thing it's going to take will be jobs. The next thing is going to take will be like corporations. The next thing is going to take will be governments. AI will now be like world government, because it's now going to be smart enough to make decisions. Do you understand? So are you going to tell me now that when AI has gained consciousness and has reached artificial general intelligence, has reached that level, you're going to tell me that the Nigerian government, it will just wipe, bro, God, it will just wipe out the entire Nigeria itself. So if Nigeria is still going to exist by 2027, because me, I highly doubt it. Like 100%, I believe it is not going to exist by then. Nigeria as we know it today is not going to exist by 2027 with how things are going on in the world right now. The looming effect of World War III that is happening around us, like everything that's going on right now. There's so much that's going to change in a short time. So many things that will change in a short time. But if it somehow happens that Nigeria exists by 2027 and Nigerians still mistakenly allow Tinubu, because nobody is going to vote for him. Nobody in their right mind is going to vote for Tinubu. But if it so happens that, because nobody is going to vote for him, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to rig the election. He's going to try his best also to rig the election in his favor. But when he inevitably does rig the election, and Nigerians allow him again like they did this last time, then that will be it for the country. That will be it for the country. There will be that will be it for the country. It will be gone. There will be nothing again. It will be gone. It will be, as in, that will be the end. As in, you know how the way civilizations end. You know how the way countries end. That will be the end of the story of Nigeria as a country. It would have lasted only 66 or how many years? 80 years. It wouldn't have even gotten up to 70 years. It would have lasted only 80 years. So yeah, that's that about that, man. Thank you for chilling with me. If you listened to these points, Thank you for chilling with me, man. Thank you for giving me your listening ears. If you enjoyed this episode, go on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, share it with people you think might find it interesting. Also, rate the podcast on Spotify. Follow me on Spotify, like and comment and all of that stuff. Then follow me on Twitter at General Prime One. Thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears. I appreciate all the support I am getting, regardless of how little they are. At least they are genuine. I'm not paying for bots and stuff like that to amplify my views and all of that nonsense that people do. Yeah, that's just about that, man. Thank you for chilling with me. Thank you for giving me your listening ears, and I'll talk to you guys later. All right, bye everybody.